Hey, what is up guys, this is Thunderstruck115, and I hope y'all are having a good day today. I know I am, because my college canceled classes today due to inclement weather, so I figured why not make a video in the meantime. And as it turns out, I have the perfect topic for it, because a few days ago, I finally got my Steam Deck. It's the 64GB model, the base version, and I expanded the storage with a 512GB micro SD card, which, funnily enough, is actually a Nintendo-branded one designed for the Switch, but it works perfectly fine on the Steam Deck. And let me tell you, I have been enjoying the absolute fuck out of it. So I figured a great way to celebrate that would be to take a look at a very shitty video regarding the Steam Deck. The title of the video we're going to be looking at is Why I Regret Buying the Steam Deck. This is by a YouTuber known as Expert Review Zone. Now later, I might make my own Steam Deck review where I just go over my thoughts on the system as a whole, which, by the way, it's very positive. But let's waste no further time and get right into this.
Hello and welcome back to a new video. So as you can see, I have my Steam Deck inside of the protective carrier case, and that is because unfortunately I think I've come to the decision that I regret buying the Steam Deck, and I think I'm going to sell it. Now, I originally bought the Steam Deck because I'm planning to do some traveling around Asia in the beginning of October, and I needed a gaming device that I could put in my backpack and I could just carry around with me and play some video games when I'm bored.
Well, good news for you, the Steam Deck is great for exactly that.
And I thought the Steam Deck would be really great for that because it allows me to play PC games that I can't play on my Switch Lite. So this is my Switch Lite, and in comparison to the Steam Deck, you can see how insanely big the Steam Deck is.
Well, yeah, the Steam Deck's gonna be bigger because it has more powerful components inside. So you need room to fit all that in, and also making sure there's enough airflow so the components don't overheat. Not to mention, the Steam Deck is just far more comfortable than the Switch. Like, after playing on my Switch for like more than say half an hour, my hands just start cramping because of how fucking thin it feels. But the Steam Deck is a lot more comfortable to me. Not to mention, pretty much the whole point of the Switch Lite is just that it's a Switch, but it's smaller and cheaper.
Now, I don't have very big hands, but if you want to use my hands as a reference to see how big the Steam Deck is.
I mean, your hands aren't that small.
It is just really big and bulky. It's okay if you're at home, but I don't really want to be putting this inside of my backpack when I can just chuck this into my backpack.
Oh my fucking god, dude, don't just toss your electronics carelessly against a hard surface like that. You're gonna fucking break them. Like, holy shit, that physically hurt to watch. Especially considering that the Nintendo Switch's controls don't really have the best build quality.
Job done, easy peasy. This thing doesn't weigh a thing, and it's got some pretty good games on it. It might not have every single game that's on Steam, but it's got quite a good collection of games on the Switch Lite.
Yeah, the Switch definitely has a good collection of games, but the Steam Deck has literally every fucking game on Steam, plus a whole bunch of games that you can get from non-Steam sources. And hell, even without the games from the non-Steam sources, it still blows what the Switch has out of the water by a long shot. Not to mention they'll run better on the Steam Deck too. Now, if you don't see yourself playing a lot of games on the go to the point where you feel like you need a Steam Deck and you just want to stick with the Switch Lite that you already have, that's fine, but I'm not sure why you're going out of your way to trash the Steam Deck when it's clearly not aimed to someone like you if you don't want the gaming on the go that it provides.
And I feel like I'd just rather have the Switch Lite. This thing is so weightless. Look, I can lift it with one finger.
Yeah, and I can hold my Steam Deck with one finger. What's your point?
Look, I can lift it with one finger. Look, I can lift it with one finger.
Clearly you fucking can't because you dropped it anyway, but what's even worse is you dropped it onto the screen of the Steam Deck. Not only are you damaging your Switch Lite, but you're damaging the Steam Deck as well. Like, dude, please stop abusing your electronics. If you're gonna try something like that, hold it over something soft like a carpet or a pillow or your fucking bed or something. Like hell, in that one clip I showed earlier, you saw I was holding it over my bed just in case it fell.
compared to the Steam Deck, where it's just kind of heavy, kind of bulky. There's no way I would even try to one finger this thing because it's just a bit of a beast of a machine.
Considering that you couldn't even one finger the Switch Lite, yeah, you're definitely not going to be able to do the Steam Deck.
So this is my backpack that I'm planning to take with me to Asia. And as you can see, when I close the Steam Deck into its protective carrier case, and I put it next to my backpack, it's actually very big compared to my backpack. It's like a third. This way, horizontally, it's a third of the size of my backpack, and then vertically, it is a third of the vertical length of my backpack.
That's because you're comparing surface area, not volume. If you actually put it in the backpack, it takes up a far smaller fraction. Like hell, I put it in my backpack last Friday to take to college with me because I had a pretty long break in between classes, and I was easily able to fit it in along with all of my other shit for school, no problem at all.
So when I put it into my backpack, look how much space it takes up in my backpack.
I mean, yeah, it takes up some space, but not that much.
It takes up so much space in my backpack. It's so big, and compared to the Switch Lite where I can just slot it in there, look, you can't even see the Switch Lite. The Switch Lite just kind of disappears into my backpack, and then you can't even see it anymore. But the Steam Deck is so bulky, and already I can feel it's pretty hefty and weighty, and I don't even have my other things in my backpack yet. Like,
God help you if you think a backpack containing nothing but a Steam Deck in its case is fucking heavy. Like, this has gotta be one of the weakest motherfuckers on planet Earth.
My laptop and my tablet. It just feels way better to have this Switch Lite in my backpack in case I want to do some quick on-the-go gaming. So my other problem with the Steam Deck has to be the price. So I was a bit silly and I decided to buy the most expensive version of the Steam Deck, which in hindsight is not really necessary. So there's different models of the Steam Deck. There's the cheapest version, which only has about 120 gigabytes of storage. There's the cheapest version, which only has about 120 gigabytes of storage.
Great to know that you have no idea what you're talking about.
I think. And then you got the mid-range version, which has about 250 gigabytes of storage. And then I decided to buy the most expensive version, which has 512 gigabytes of storage, and that cost me about £565. Compared to this Switch Lite, which only costs about £200 when I bought it from release. I think it came out in 2019, which is when I bought it. And the reason why it's kind of silly to buy the most expensive version of the Steam Deck for the storage is because you can actually put in an SD card. All you needed to buy was a £20, is it £20 or maybe £100, 1 terabyte SD card and put it in there, and then you would have boosted your storage by 10 times and you wouldn't have had to spend the extra, what, £200 on the bigger version of the Steam Deck. Not the physically bigger version, the bigger storage version.
Yep, that is certainly an option. In fact, if you're on the fence about the Steam Deck, that's what I'd recommend. Get the $400 model, the 64GB one, and just get yourself like a really big micro SD card because it's going to be a lot cheaper than just getting the 512GB version. Plus, you'll have more storage. That's what I did, and so far, I've been having a good time with it. However, I really don't see why this is some sort of gotcha moment, because if you actually bothered to do research beforehand, you'd know that you could do this. You could just get the cheaper model and expand the storage with a micro SD card. So I'm really not sure why you decided to go with the 512GB model if you don't want the extra speed from the SSD.
So my other problem with the Steam Deck is, although it can play PC games, which is great and everything, I don't know why you would want to be playing so many hardcore PC games when you're traveling.
I don't know, maybe because people like playing video games and they want to be able to do so on the go. So a handheld that gives you access to the largest library of PC games in the world is gonna be appealing for that reason.
For example, I'm gonna go to Thailand in October. Am I really going to be sitting around at home playing video games all day when I should be exploring the country, seeing what it's all about, enjoying the food and the people and the culture, and trying to get new memories and experiences in life? I don't really see why I would want to be sat around playing some kind of dedicated PC game when I really should be doing other things in my life at this stage.
Okay, this doesn't seem like a bad mindset to be in. If you're going to be spending a lot of money traveling, then you'll probably want to be spending most of your time doing stuff wherever you're traveling that you wouldn't be able to do at home, like, say, playing video games. But if that's the case, then I don't see why you went out of your way to buy a handheld gaming system if you know you're not going to use it. Like, that would be like if I were to go out and buy a coffee maker. Even though I don't drink coffee, so I wouldn't fucking use it. That doesn't mean it's a bad product, it just means it's not for me.
I just kind of regret buying it now, and I really don't see myself playing a lot of PC games when I'm out and about traveling, and I don't really want to sacrifice so much storage space in my backpack just for this big thing, when I'll probably not really use it a lot. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to decide not to bring it with me to Thailand, and I think I'll just go with the Switch Lite. I might not even bring the Switch Lite, to be honest, because I'm not actually playing a lot of video games these days.
Also, I want y'all to keep this point he's making in mind. He says he doesn't want to be spending a lot of time playing video games because in about a minute or two, he's gonna say something that's gonna leave you with the most puzzled expression on your face.
I feel like I'm at a stage of my life where video games are just something you do when you don't have anything better to do. If I had more interesting things in life to do, I'd rather be doing that or trying to be more productive. It's just when I've got nothing to do and I can't think of anything to do and I've done all my chores and done all of my little tasks I need to do, I don't really have anything else to be filling my time with, and that's when I play video games.
Well, no fucking shit.
I mean, yeah, it's a hobby. I don't see what your point is.
I'm trying to change that habit of mine, and hopefully traveling again will give me more things to do, and that means I won't really need a dedicated PC gaming handheld device.
So why did you buy one again?
Also, again, the battery life, I'm not really that impressed with it. It lasts about an hour.
That's fucking bullshit, by the way. I was able to play Dishonored 2 for about 2.5 hours on high settings without capping the frame rate below 60, and then proceed to play Black Ops 3 Zombies for another hour, again on high settings, capped at 60. So that's about 3.5 hours of game time right there on two PC games that are not very well optimized, mind you. And when I stopped playing after that and went to go charge my Steam Deck, it's had about like 20% of the battery left. Sure, it could stand to be better, but it's not that bad. And keep in mind, these games are not necessarily optimized to maximize battery life, nor did I go into the settings to try and preserve the battery life, which is something you can do, by the way. You can turn down the resolution, you can turn down the graphics options, you can cap the frame rate, you can enable FSR, you can lower the TDP, and a whole bunch of other shit to try and lengthen the battery life.
And I don't know anyone who only plays games for an hour. For example, if you're stuck in an airport or on an aeroplane, 1 hour of gaming is pretty rubbish. Am I really going to be sitting around at home playing video games all day when I should be exploring the country, seeing what it's all about, enjoying the food and the people and the culture, and trying to get new memories and experiences in life? I don't really see why I would want to be sat around playing some kind of dedicated PC game when I really should be doing other things in my life at this stage.
So you think the Steam Deck is bad because you don't think you should be spending time playing video games? But now you're bitching about the battery because it doesn't give you enough time to play video games? Like, what the fuck is this shit?
And where are you going to plug this in to charge it?
An outlet?
You could bring some power banks, and I do have some power banks here. I've got these two power banks that I velcroed together.
Something tells me that's not a good idea because I feel like you're gonna overheat them doing that.
This one doesn't really charge the Steam Deck because it's too low of a wattage. It only has like it's like 10 watts or a 15 watt or 20 watt charger for mobile phones and tablets, and it does charge the Steam Deck, but very, very slowly. You cannot play the game whilst charging it with this at the same time, because you'll just drain the battery faster than it charges.
Yeah, because the Steam Deck has a higher wattage compared to something like a cell phone, so naturally it's going to require a higher wattage power bank. That's kind of on you for not doing your research.
So I got this chunkier, beefy battery bank, which says 100 watts. So this is actually for laptops and more powerful devices. You need at least a charger that has at least a 40 watt power outage, so it has enough power to charge the Steam Deck, because it's quite a beefy machine. And even with this big thing, I think it's about 26,000 milliamps, but in reality, it only has about 15 or 16,000 milliamps of actual chargeable electricity inside of it that can be stored. Because when I did my testing, with this plugged in, the big one plugged into the Steam Deck whilst playing Hitman 3 for hours and hours, this thing drained so quickly. It drained my battery bank in about 3 hours. So you got 1 hour from the Steam Deck's battery, and then 3 additional hours from this big fat battery bank. So you got about a total of nearly 4 hours of total gameplay. I mean, you could buy another 2 of these, and then you could triple your battery life to like 9 hours or 12 hours. But you're really going to carry 3 of these? It already weighs a ton. So I'm going to have to carry all this, plus this. This is like, oh, it's like a laptop. The weight of this is so heavy, it's like 2 kilograms.
In case anyone's wondering, that's about 4.4 pounds, which is not fucking heavy. If that is too heavy, you probably need to go hit the gym. That, or go see a doctor, because you might have osteoporosis.
And as someone who likes to travel light, this is really killing my travel light backpack and my setup. This is really going to hurt my shoulders and my back.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, did I hear that right?
This is really going to hurt my shoulders and my back.
You know, I jokingly said earlier that this is probably the weakest motherfucker on planet Earth, but you know what, I think I might be right. I think I might be onto something. Because there is no fucking way that a Steam Deck in its case and 2 battery banks in your backpack should be making your shoulders and back hurt. Like, I could put my Steam Deck along with the 2 power banks in my backpack and give it to my 5-year-old cousin, and she could carry it around with no problem. Either you're making this shit up, or you need to see a doctor, like, ASAP.
When I'm out and about, and when I'm going from hotel to hotel and getting on trains and going hiking and stuff, I really don't want to be lugging this around. Look how heavy that is. When in comparison, you could probably get like 12 hours of battery life from the Switch Lite just using this tiny, smaller battery bank. I still have to bring the battery bank because I'm going to need battery juice for my phones and stuff, but I'd rather just not have to bring this with it when I probably won't realistically use it a lot. I don't really see myself using it a lot because, for example, when you're traveling in airports and you're on planes, you're usually very tired and stressed out because now you've got to sit on an aeroplane for 10 or 12 hours straight, and it's going to be really uncomfortable and unpleasant. It's not really the kind of atmosphere or environments that you want to sit back, relax, and have a good time playing video games. It's kind of a situation, environment where you just want to put your heads between your knees and cry and just pray that this stupid plane journey is going to be over soon.
Or maybe the experience sucks, but you want to make it better by being able to play your favorite games while doing so?
I just feel like I'm going to be too stressed out to be able to enjoy any kind of video games, and I won't even take this out of the bag, really. I'm just going to try and shut my eyes and try to fall asleep. So I think I kind of made a mistake buying this for the purposes of traveling and gaming at the same time, and I think I'm going to set it on eBay maybe.
And just like that, the video is over. So I guess the key takeaway here is, if you're thinking about buying a product, don't commit to it unless you're sure that you're gonna actually use it, or you strongly believe you'll use it. Because a whole lot of this video just came off as him not knowing what the function of the Steam Deck was, which is to play video games. But yeah, this video was pretty fucking bad. So anyways, that's gonna be about it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more, and tell me what you think of this clown. Anyways, that's it. Peace!